to officially gas. Let's get it.
For the best in universal premium ester-containing engine oils and fuel additives for both petrol and diesel engines, check the links in the description. So yes guys, today we are back down at Auto Talk in the engine room with the main man, Josh.
Hello.
And yeah, we're here to tell you exactly what we found since the engine has been stripped down. I just want to take you back to that day. Like, we're super gassed of the achievements we made on that day, the records that were broken, our personal bests, and the UK record reset for the fastest street Honda. You know, we went 960 at nearly 157 mile an hour, basically, on street tires on a bumpy runway at 3.7, 100 to 200. And yeah, repeatedly on that day, it was banging out 3-second 100 to 200s, even a couple of runs with Josh sitting next to me. This car was on fire, but as you would have seen, the throttle got stuck wide open on the actual record pass. It didn't bode well for the engine, and you would have saw on the last launch where we thought we were getting a little bit of head lift, where it all went wrong. Well, today we're here to show you exactly what went wrong, and it kind of wasn't what we thought it would be, right?
No, it wasn't.
It's actually a little bit strange, but we still think it's to do with that issue, right?
So, going back to the day, obviously it was good, etc. But leading up to it, sort of behind the scenes, we mentioned on camera, there was a concern of coolant pressure. So, going forward, I think you mentioned, but you decided you want to carry on going because it wasn't like there was a massive spike in coolant pressure. So if you're looking at the log, you know, it's not like it's spiked up to I have 10 bar or something and come back down. You know, it was just sort of gradually rising. So it was kind of indicating potentially it's starting to push coolant a little bit, almost like a head lift or a head gasket's going to fail or something. To be fair, with the gasket and the head stud combination we've got going on, it's sort of not here or there sort of thing. Like it might not. It should maybe not be happening, if that makes sense.
Yeah, L19s, basically the strongest ones you can get, right?
I mean, you can get 625 pluses, which is sort of like the next step up, but that's only from, I think, 4-piston. Got it. So, food for thought for the future, whatever. When it failed, obviously it was quite catastrophic in what you saw. Yeah. A lot of smoke, etc., coolant everywhere. So immediately, we're both like, well, we knew that was coming sort of thing, or we saw that was coming, or it was going to happen from the logs, or there was a potential for it, shall I say. And with the fact that it was coolant everywhere all over the bonnet, it was basically there like, well, something's gone, it's going to be a sleeve, because we know the stock sleeves can only handle so much, even with the CSS. CSS only helps so much to stop the sleeves moving. Or head gasket had gone, so head lift. Not until we took it apart did we actually realise that yes, coolant had entered the bore, but not from anything, or not from those two scenarios. Yeah. What had actually happened is, well, the valve train had failed, and ahead of a valve, if you want to have a look here, smashed through a port with a coolant on number 2.
Look at that, guys. So absolutely, this is actually a lot worse than I thought it'd be. I thought I'd be able to keep my valves and everything like that, and maybe even, you know, skim the head or skim the block and keep going. But it's when your valves are on the floor like that, I'm not sure how well this is focusing, but yeah, it is catastrophic. Valves have broken off left, right, and centre. And you're saying you think it's actually something to do with the valve seat or something?
Yeah, so sort of, yeah, it's difficult because it's like, what came first, the chicken or the egg, you know? Because there's so much destruction on this one cylinder. The first thing you can notice is the valve seat is missing out of this particular valve pocket here, if you want to look at it like that. This one here is still there, it's just smushed over, same for here, and this valve's still in place and the valve seat's just behind there. So it's like, did the valve seat fail and drop out and cause all the damage? Or what I think probably is more likely the case is a valve has failed, a head has dropped, smashed in the rest of them, broke some heads off, done the damage and probably has knocked that valve seat out. Or what's happened here, it's bent over, cracked the seat and it's kind of fallen out and just got smashed to smithereens.
Now what's also interesting is
So this was the first telltale sign, that's the piece there, and you can still see the casting, it's not melted, it's broken off, so it would have gone, something like that. But obviously smashed to bits. So that's where a bit of the valves come up and basically just gone.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh look, there you go.
Fits like a glove.
There you go.
This is the offending one. So basically that flooded the cylinder with coolant.
Yeah, so coolant comes straight into the bore then, and that's what you saw in the video, is all that smoke was just coolant burning off and entering everything else. It actually pushed that far back through the intake that it's got back down to the intercooler. So like when I was stripping it apart, I had coolant coming out by the litres out of the intercooler pipes. You know, you pull an exhaust off, it's flooding out of coolant. So it weren't ideal, and there's a lot of cleaning, and some stuff's going to have to be replaced, unfortunately. But,
I realised watching the video back, we didn't show like the under half of the engine. People probably thought I was trying to hide something, like maybe it had, I don't know, thrown a rod through the side of the cylinder. There was nothing.
No.
In fact, we've got the
ridiculous thing is after all the talk in the past, you know, my concern with rods, because it's like what they're sort of rated for.
Yeah.
The last thing to still be up holding, looking beautiful, are the rods.
The rods.
Yeah.
And we've actually got, so this is the block, guys. And let me just kind of put a bit of respect on this block's name and also Josh's name, because this engine, for one, is CSS, right? So it's still stock sleeves, your cylinder support. This block's probably rated to about 600 brake horsepower. Our rods rated to 600 brake horsepower. This engine's been in there for 2 years. And honestly, like when I tell you guys, this is no exaggeration, I've probably done over 200 hits. Hard hits on this engine, and we were always like, as the power went up, we always knew that these rods are rated for 600 brake. So if anything's going to go, we thought it'd go spectacularly and put a big window inside of the block. But it didn't.
No, they're entry level rods.
They're entry level rods. Also, you know, had that issue, the throttle pedal getting stuck down on full load, fifth gear, 160 mile an hour, bouncing off the red line, never happened.
It probably still be running.
This engine will probably still be running. You know, it's sometimes it's the small things we don't look into, these freak accidents that can cause this. But it just, like, honestly, putting some respect on this engine's build and what it's achieved at its punching above its weight. Like, I think we have to still respect how well this engine done up until this freak accident.
Yeah, it's done blindingly well, to be honest. And not shell shocked, but like it was built for a particular goal originally, and we've far surpassed it. The engine was healthy.
Yeah,
I mean, it's had. You can see it's had use.
Yeah,
it was by no means like, oh, it's going to let go at any point. Like it was looking really,
it was good.
really good.
It was good.
The balls are really nice. Mint pistons look really good. Yeah, it's had a bit of use in it, but like your ringlands are all fine. Like there's no signs of anything button up. There's no any real bad scoring along the skirts or anything. I mean, I've pulled pistons out of engines where you can't even see this coating.
Yeah.
They're absolutely knackered.
But we did treat this engine well. It got a lot of oil changes.
Yeah.
Unfortunately,
that one's.
that one didn't make it out too well, to tell the truth. But that's what happens when a valve snaps off.
But what I do want to point out is the fact that this is still in one piece.
Okay.
Like, hats off to RACECAL. Normally, when you have something that aggressive go on, like you can end up cracking pistons.
Yeah.
And like, it's still in one piece.
Yeah.
And I can't knock it.
Yeah.
And there's not real done too much damage in terms of the remainder of the piston. It's just the head.
Just the head.
Which obviously looks horrendous.
To tell the truth, I think the only thing that's come out here unscathed, luckily, is my cams, which cost an arm and a leg.
Cams and crank.
And the crank.
Which is over there.
You know, which we got over there. But also, I just want to say, like, with a little bit of boring or overboring or whatever, this could probably be used again. I'm not sure how well it's showing here, but we got a little, right at the top here, just a little dink. So you could basically clean it up and sell. That'll be on eBay. That'll be on my eBay store very soon. Coming very soon.
Yes, considering the damage that happened, the cylinder has come off quite lightly. There are a few little marks, but I think if you could dress them and maybe sort of bore over half mil again, that would sort of be the end of it.
But the thing is, what I do want to say is, it doesn't really matter. It matters, but it doesn't matter, if that makes sense, guys. So it's now a case of, like, we already knew what the process was. We were going to get to the limits of this engine, and then we were going to push on. And that out in that video you saw was pretty much its last hurrah anyway. We're going to put the slicks on. Granted, yes, those slicks have still not been used in anger, unfortunately, one day. But we were going to put the slicks on and send it. And whatever times it ran, then it was time to pull the engine out anyway and do our build. Because we do have another engine, which is, I'll quickly just come over here. It's all wrapped up nice, but this is a Rami Racing sleeved and O-ring bottom end K20, so it's a 2 litre still. We're going to go for 1200 brake. So this engine, as you can see, is there's not a lot of usable parts, not that it matters. As you see, we've got 2 heads here. Yes, this is a spare head that I do have, so this one will go away for port polishing. Obviously, we'll put all new valves in. We'll go for a new valve train. We've currently got Skunk 2 valves in the old head, and we're going to go Supertech in the new head, new valve train, and all the supporting mods to build an engine that, I know it sounds weird, that should reliably run around 1200 brake horsepower from a 4-cylinder. We're going to up the revs too, so we're going to need...
Should be able to do it without blowing up once at least, anyway.
There we go. So, yeah, man, we're definitely we have to start now. So this will be built over winter. I've got a lot of projects going on, as you know. So I would say, you know, that, I don't know, give me a couple months and you should see some serious things. And it's just crazy that, you know, we still hold the record for the fastest street Honda, the fastest Honda that's ever ran on the street, and we weren't even sleeved or O-rings, you know what I mean? We're on a CSS. Also, I want to say the 9.60 that we ran was with a 1.65 60 foot, which is a rubbish 60 foot. Had we got that down to a 1.4 60 foot with the slicks, that might have, with our terminal on the right track, been an 8-second pass anyway. Yeah. So with the right power, the right setup, we should go hopefully nicely into the 8s. But anyway, that's speculation. We'll see how it comes. But anyway, guys, it's been a very, very techie one, but at least we're all up to date with exactly what went wrong and again, what is to come. I've also got another engine here. This is the standard engine that come out of the DC5, which is
the original engine, yeah.
K20A, so it's high comp. So
we're stealing the head off it.
Yeah, so yeah, we've taken the head off that. We might use the crank. We're not sure. Anyway. Bro, thank you again for everything.
Problem.
Also, massive shout out to Auto Talk, and of course a massive shout out to Romain, who also should be praised highly for setting these records alongside us. You know, a freak accident, we lost an engine, but in the grand scheme of things, it's not too bad, I guess. It definitely served its part. 2 years of abuse, setting records. Yeah, we'll have that. So yeah, guys, if you have enjoyed today's video, smash that subscribe button if you're new to the channel. You want to follow the journey, because you know we don't mess around with this Honda. As I've said many times, you thought it was crazy before, it is about to just get real. Just stupid. Just absolutely stupid. So stay tuned for that one. Of course, we've got crazy other builds coming. And yeah, man. So a massive shout out to RACECAL, a massive shout out to Auto Talk, and of course, once again, bro, massive shout out to yourself. Guys, we'll catch you on the next one. Peace out.